going. And go ahead, Michael, Ghost User, Dobler, introduce me the players.
So spawning in the 2 o'clock position, the top right-hand corner of the map, it's the red Zerg player. His name is E.G. Suppy. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner.
I got it.
Okay.
Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, the 8 o'clock position, it's Drunkenboi. Why did you go so high with Suppy?
That's how Suppy should be pronounced, I think.
Suppy!
You have to like sing his name because he's just so happy.
Suppy. I added an extra syllable to his name.
It's just, I'm mustering all the enthusiasm and putting it into like a high-pitched singing voice for Suppy.
Wow, that is fantastic. The drone scout coming out from Suppy as well. Second time he's going to do this. He's protecting against a lot of all-ins when he does this.
Yeah, it's a common among the best Zergs to drone scout. If I see a Zerg drone scout, I'm like, he is the real deal. You know, Sulky almost always soul scouts, pretty much, or drone scouts pretty much every single game. He's one of the first Zergs I saw to do that, and a couple other top Zergs like E.G. Suppy do that as well.
But okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. But drone scouting costs so much money, Mike. That's a whole like 2 drones that you're wasting, not having that on, not mining.
Yes, but if you're better than your opponent, you can outplay him anyways.
Oh. But can I just outplay him with an extra 2 more drones?
Yeah, well, that wouldn't be outplaying him. That'd be taking a small economic advantage. But what if he's going proxy 2 barracks?
Can't you just
and you don't
micro
scout
that?
it? You can potentially.
And you've been playing a lot of micro maps. I know you can.
I've been playing a lot of micro maps. I don't think I'd have any trouble with this. This might be a few too many units for me to control at one time.
Oh, that's what it comes down to. Okay.
Yeah, I have to like box them all and then right-click on SCVs one at a time until they die.
I see.
It's tough.
And drones don't have abilities.
They don't have any abilities.
They're not like ravens.
Well, you can tell them to go mine. They have a mining ability.
Yeah.
They have an attack ability. They can hold position. They can even stop.
Well, not for you. You can't stop.
I can't stop.
You can't stop
But
because you
other people
unbounded
can.
stop. So that is a lie. How dare you? They can patrol though.
They can
They
patrol.
can patrol.
One of the most useful tools when microing against opponents.
Patrolling.
It was good in Brood War,
It was.
but not anymore.
No. Patrolling in Brood War, it was actually crazy. It increased the attack animation of your first attack. Right? So
Didn't
you
it
would shoot
decrease it?
faster.
So
Or it would decrease it.
yeah.
I'm sorry. It would decrease
Best
it.
micro trick ever.
Yeah,
Makes it take longer for units to attack.
that's right. And did you know hold position sometimes would reduce your range of Marines? Sometimes would reduce your range and... Wait, was it range?
Would it increase it? Why would you want
No,
to
wait,
do
hold
something
on.
to decrease
Hold
your range?
position. Oh, I know what it did. It increased your attack speed time.
Yeah, I think that's how most Terrans microed it in Brood War.
Hold position?
Yeah. Didn't they? With the Marines.
Against Mutas? Or
I don't know,
against
just
what?
in general, I'd see them hold position,
okay,
stutter
so
stepping.
against Mutas, you would always focus fire. Always focus fire.
Yeah, to take out the mutas one by one, because weakening them does nothing.
Yeah. But, yes, you're correct. Normally you would go for the whole position because it sprays out the fire accordingly. Anyway, Hellbat, nope.
Try again.
Unit died.
Yes.
There we go.
It was not an important unit, though. This is an interesting build by Drunkenboi, if I have to say so myself. He has about 6 Marines, doesn't have any Hellions yet, and then this is coming out of a Reaper opening.
This should be super obvious, too. As soon as, I don't know if he poked up there and was able to see the composition, but when you see a Widow Mine that early, you're not actually saying, oh, they're just playing really defensive. You're saying, oh, they're probably going to drop with that Widow Mine. That's a really common thing. I shouldn't say really common, because you just said it was uncommon. And I agree with that. It's when you do see the Widow Mine, you don't normally see it being defensive.
When you see it, it's common that they're using it for a drop.
Yes, thank you.
But you don't see it too often, because it's not a common build, but that's commonly what you should expect to come when you see that mine.
Yeah. Else it'd be uncommon, and we wouldn't commonly see that.
Yeah.
Common.
And how else would we commentate?
No, we wouldn't be able to commentate because commentating on that common build would be uncommon.
Okay.
Drop coming out here in the main base.
And he has a small force of lings. If he can, I'm not sure where he's actually dropping. He just kind of hung around on that cliff. It flew away.
He will see the Baneling nest popping down here, and might be able to get a connection in with the Widow Mine. Yeah, it's okay. But gonna be stopped here because another round of units. And Drunkenboi being very aggressive yet again, killing all the creep tumors, but the queens will step out onto the field.
Did he lose his medevac? I don't see it.
I don't see it either. Yes, he did. Holy moly.
That Widow Mine splash.
That Widow Mine splash. 40 harvesters to 39, so looking pretty nice for Drunkenboi at the moment, but that's going to change very quickly. As soon as you do a pressure build like that, it's like you're off the map for so long. And this is where Zerg really takes over. If they're able to trade and defend well, they're going to just utilize their injects. Injects deliver so many more drones than command centers ever could.
Yes, injects. It's a good ability of Zerg. I remember initially when everyone said the mules were the best mechanic when SC2 came out, but I think it's inject.
I do too. I think the rest of the Protoss Nation does too. Ask Rotterdam. He's like, yeah, inject's pretty good. So are roaches.
It is a good unit.
But not a roach build out for Suppy, which, you know, I was saying I like a lot on this map. I think it's one of the best ways to play the map. Because you don't want it to get to endgame. Sorry,
this queen opening can also help you spread the creep though, which is important. And that's mainly what you want as Zerg. If you're playing for a mid-game macro, you want a build that lets you spread creep without him being able to deny it.
Okay, well, a double drop coming in here right now, or not double drop, but double harass. Hellions at the third base, able to clean up a couple of drones. In the meantime, there was a Marine drop over here, killing a single Overlord. Let's take a look at the damage done. Units lost 1,100 to 981, so advantage for Suppy. And again, look at the 1-1 timing. Just now, starting up his +1 armor. His +1 weapons was at a reasonable time, but the 1-1 of Suppy just about to finish, so a gigantic advantage. 2-2 instantly started after 1-1 finishes.
And I'm not sure how much I like the third base timing that the build of Drunkenboi gives him. Gives him kind of a later third than most Terrans these days in TVZ. And this is going to make it more difficult for him to do a strong push.
What time is like the standard third base these days?
Between 8 minutes and 10 minutes, I'd say, is when Terran usually secures the third.
But it's going to say 9 minutes.
Yeah, so directly between 8 and 10. And this opening that he's doing is, well, it's a different opening this game than last game, but these two openings, it's kind of delaying his third by a lot.
Yeah.
Along with the upgrades that you've been mentioning.
And he's supposed to be getting a lot of advantages in creep spread. But look at this creep spread. Like, this is insane. Suppy is doing such a great job, and now pressuring it in again. This is the round 2 that we can expect. +1 weapons is going to equalize the +1 carapace, and I think +1 armor isn't nearly as strong. Like, it's not a huge necessity over +1 weapons, I think. But we'll see. Attack over at the third base, going to get shut down. Everything looks to be going well for Suppy. And here's the big engagement. Nice control with the initial Zerglings, but some big splashes onto the rest of the units. Drunkenboi played that pretty nicely, I think.
Yeah, that was nice, but losing units isn't too big of a deal for Suppy as he's still in a good position. Upgrade-wise, his fourth base is finishing at a good time, even as a macro hatch going up. And the supply is looking pretty good for him, too. In TVZ, often you'll see Terran with a slate supply lead at this point in the game. And it's about even, and Suppy having that and an upgrade advantage, I think it puts him in a pretty nice position, especially considering his creep.
Yeah, no turrets are up right now, and that's going to allow these mutas to do a little bit of damage. Thankfully for Drunkenboi, there's only 4 attacking, so it's a very small amount.
Yeah, that's kind of the worst number. 5 can at least one-shot SCVs, 4 can't do too much of anything. It will kill a reactor somehow.
That does help.
Yeah.
I will say, and 3 more mutas will join up That'll help out too.
What I do like that Drunkenboi has changed this game is he has 2 factories up pretty quick. He's getting that upgrade for Widow Mines, and he's going to have a lot more mines in his force than he did the previous game.
Yeah, Widow Mines. I mean, what do you think about even getting like 3 or 4 factories as the game goes on? Is that too big of an excess, or do you think Widow Mine counts like as they grow, you just get so much better as a Terran?
I think it can be good, but it would have to be experimented with some to get the timings on adding those factories down, so you can still have some map presence.
Yeah, I hear you. I guess what I'm asking is there a downside to ever making quote-unquote too many Widow Mines?
Not in TVZ. As long as you still have some bio to back it up, then the more Widow Mines, the better. The more you have, the better chance that a couple of them get incredibly good shots off is. And the Widow Mines are the key to this bio mine composition. If the mines don't get any good shots at all, you'll usually lose the fight.
Gotcha. We'll see if Drunkenboi can make any good connections. Right now, I mean, his clear attack path should be over here in the north section, where the creep is just now starting to edge out, but he's looking to attack directly in the center. Again, this is what we were talking about earlier. The center is a very hard place to initiate on because of how open it is. You can have an incredibly good flank as a Zerg player.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to plan to push from this position, because even though he kind of gets set up, he can't push forwards that easily.
Yeah. Well, what he's saying from this engagement is, I'm going to win it decisively, and then after that, I will just win the game.
But Suppy doesn't have to engage with everything. He can just keep sending a small force of Ling Bailing forward and attacking whatever Drunkenboi pushes forwards with, because
Drunkenboi still has a lot of time to wait until his until all the creep kind of recedes back, right?
Yeah.
So I guess he's just waiting patiently until that happens. But still, actually that trade worked out pretty well.
I mean, the trades are going to go okay, but Suppy's not going to ever drop below max doing these kind of fights.
Sure.
And
that makes sense.
Yeah, and with his upgrade lead, him starting a hive now, him being on 4 bases, I think it's the position that he wants to be in. All he has to do is continuously do this until there's not that many Widow Mines left. And then once there's only 1 or 2, maybe 3 to 4 mines left that aren't on cooldown, then he just goes into everything and wins.
Oh gosh, Marines pushing in, and that's the cue, because the Zerglings are just going to wrap around and say, you cannot leave! Nice microing back, but a great Baneling connect, or excuse me, great Widow Mine connection here. A lot more Widow Mines are going to be placed down, but they get immediately DPS'd by those Banelings. And this just worked out incredibly well for Suppy. It was as cost efficient, I think, as Drunkenboi could hope for, but even that was enough to defend, or rather attack on creep.
Yeah, it's difficult to push through the middle like this. It's kind of hard to get a good engagement, because Zerg can always go for any pack of units they want.
Yeah. Oh, big connections. Just 4 Banelings connecting with so many Marines, and now being forced back with a large group of Mutas. Needs to be careful. Oh, nice Widow Mine connection there. Not able to kill too much, though.
Kills 1 Muta, but that's about it. Still a good trade cost-wise, but he needs the mines off cooldown if he wants to be able to push forward.
Yeah, and this is just brutal, because now Drunkenboi, off of playing so inefficiently for the start, units lost tab showing very similar results, but a 4th base over 3 bases helps out Zerg a lot. The 4th base over here in the top left-hand corner is going to be the next point of contention, especially for Suppy. He's going to look to actually attack that, but instead of attacking it directly right now, he's going to say, well, he's kind of expecting me to go up there.
I like that location for the 4th base, though, because if he could secure this base and make it into a P-fort, it's a nice location to push from into Suppy's bases.
Yeah, that makes sense. But the Mutas are going to go for the main base and killing a ton of SCVs. Oh my goodness, that is so nice.
What were the SCVs even doing? He transferred them a bit early. He
and
didn't
there
even
it
have
is. GG.
Kind of anticlimactic. I don't know why GG there is.